Welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me on an extremely special Friday edition of Un Poco Moss. Guys, I've got the headband on. I'm working hard. It is me, it is I, it is Danny Deals. It is cornbread. They call me cornbread because I'm moist doughy and I crumble under pressure. They call me the tugboat. Because I'm short in stature, I pull more than my weight. I'm rarely far from my home port. They call me Stubby Cohiba due to an unfortunate manscaping accident I had with a Vitamix blender outside of Fort Lauderdale, Florida back in the late 1970s. They've been known to call me Hurricane Lopez, Stock Karen, and many other things. But anyway, welcome and hello and welcome. It's Un Poco Moss, the show where we try to give you just a little bit more on behalf of myself, our guides, our moderators, everyone who makes this show possible. We'd just like to warmly greet you and welcome you and say welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome. There has been a request for Danny Oki. Some of you clever sleuths have figured out my day job from yesteryear. You've requested Danny Oki. We're not going to do it, guys. We're just not going to sing. That's part of the Danny don't sing and Danny don't dance. And of course, if you know me, you know that I both sing and dance. Not very good at it, but I definitely do it. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. We've had requests for Thunderstruck. Somebody wanted some killers, so we'll see. Danny Oki, you know, when I used to do that bit, I was drinking, so it's a totally different scenario. Plus, people were violently firing drinks at the stage and assaulting me in all sorts of manner. They used to take beer bottles and beat me about the face, breast, head, neck, and chest. Unmerciful. Oh no. Anyway, guys, Jerky Boys bits aside, all bits aside, let's talk a little stock action. It's just green. Of course, we all know what happened. Rugman didn't cometh. Fed Jerome Powell came out at Jackson Hole and basically at least left the door open for some rate cuts in the next few months, and the odds went up. And of course, that's huge for the markets because the markets run on capital. You know, companies run on access to capital, and if money costs less, it allows companies to grow and invest. And you know, you guys basically understand. You know, if you're a company like SOFI, you know, you're going to get much more demand for refis, for loans, for things like that. It's going to drive your profits. Just basically, you know, lower rates drive not only home buying activity and transactions, but of course, home building activity, just basically everything, the entire economy. So that's why you see, you know, markets up across the board, you know, Dow and NASDAQ up 2%, S&P up 1.5 points, the Russell up big, up 4. And if you think about it logically, it makes sense because smaller and medium-sized companies are a lot more subject to interest rate fluctuations because they do not have the ready access to capital that a larger corporation or like you, especially like a mega cap would have, that can go in and issue their own bonds, have a, you know, extensive, deep relationships with financial institutions so they can weather a storm. But when you have these prolonged high rates, it really has hit, you know, people like, why are mid and small caps, you know, such a bargain vis-a-vis the large and mega caps? And it's, you know, it's very simple. Interest rates have been high, and that hits smaller companies much, at least in my opinion. That's what's going on. I also think it's just a bias that, you know, people are willing to overpay for, you know, sort of these big names in the right sectors. And that's why I sort of titled this video, like, it's great to buy into momentum if that's your only goal. If you're like an IBD trader or you're an outlier trader and you just are going to make a profit and get out, I try to buy these runs in sort of putting it in two minds. It's like, am I buying and looking at a sustained run? I'm going to hold long shares. If I buy calls, I'm sort of looking usually to trade those calls anywhere from like 2 to 6 week basis. That's just short-term trading calls. Also, you know, buy leaps 2 years out, and that's obviously, you know, more of a long-term strategy. So I guess you just have to assess what you're going to do, but just go stock by stock, kind of take a look at this thing. If you guys have any thoughts, anything you want to take a look at, any stocks you want to take a look at, there was a couple of important points just to note, which is that Prairie operating, I wanted to just mention that there was everybody was looking for an insider buy, and one of their directors actually made a big open market buy on the 20th, and as it turns out, it's this guy, Jonathan Gray, who was, not the guy from 50 Shades of Grey, but he's like, his father was a famous author, Holocaust survivor. I was reading his biography. It's pretty interesting. And he runs these like incubators and stuff. So he's a very wealthy guy, very happening in Europe, Middle East. And he's a major investor in Prairie, which I think is a very good thing. And on the 20th, he bought, it was about $500,000 worth of shares at 212 or 209 or something. I showed the filing. You can look at my posts. You guys know I don't just do live streams. I also post like stupid photos, like screen grabs of charts and little comments, little quips, little insights, little tidbits, just little factoids, just something to pass the day, something to chew on, something to turn those mental gears, just food for thought. Just visiting. Anyway, guys, if you have any ideas for Danny Oki, we're definitely not going to make that happen. We're not going to turn this channel into a farce. It's not going to be a circus. It's not going to be a clown show, guys. I'm not going to break out my Shaquille O'Neal size 24s, put on some red nose, and just dance for you guys like some kind of jester, some kind of clown, some kind of fat imbecile to be mocked. Tomatoes thrown at me. Mocked because of my assy nips. It's tough to man boob for fun and profit, guys. Besides their buoyancy and, like I said, collision protection and the slow to mid-speed frontal accident, there's very little upside to man boobs. So if you're man boobing for fun and profit, you're definitely overcoming a lot of obstacles. What's going on, guys? So I don't know why I'm focused on this guy, but it's just really nice to see because everybody was very concerned about the stock, and I got to kind of refresh these. I was taking a look at a lot of these stocks and a lot of other stocks. So Prairie up about 9% today. It was actually up a bit more than that. Sorry, my internet's been really sketchy. I hope the stream's coming through okay. I don't know what's going on. My faux office complex. I think it's just Yahoo, but yeah, it's up 20 cents today. It started just back into like, I mean, this stock it didn't even step back up to like this last sort of base it was making at 250. So we just have to see. I think this stock recovers. I think this is a complete scam stock where market makers, did a controlled walk down on this stock from, the 10 area. It looked like it was, basing out and recovering here at 5. And then, sort of this earnings disappointment. I think somebody was mentioning in the comments that this could all, I think it was Chris, this could all be, a complete setup. And basically this is what happens, in my opinion, is institutions and the management who runs these things, they don't necessarily collude in any illegal way. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just saying they're all fine to have the price go down. Like, hey, we don't have to buy right now. If we just let the market fall apart and we let this algo walk the stock down, it doesn't cost us very much. And then, hey, we can all buy at 209 or 212. And instead of, we've been buying at 5 and 6. And that's a lot better. That's a lot more better. It's like 60% off sale. It's like a BOGO. Like a boho. I thought you guys were running a BOGO here. No, it's a boho. Buy one half off. Fuck you. Give me a BOGO. You're going to mess with a boho. I hate these sales. Also, just so misleading. Just tell me the fucking price of something. Let me pay cash. Let me get it over with. No, you got to order it online. You got to download our app. I just want a coffee. It's right there. I'll give you some money. Oh, no, we don't take money. You take cards? No, we don't take cards. Is there an app I have to have some magnetic thing on my phone and then basically put like one of those diabetes implants in my fat tricep into my bingo wing? Bingo, bingo. Danny got another bingo. Well, he rigs the game. Pays off the caller. You guys ever do a rigged bingo game? It's a good racket. I got too old to saw the tops off the parking meters. You guys are sitting around telling the same stories, doing the same bits. I got to answer to people. I got to kick up the Rusty, 50 grand every month. The great Michael Madsen. I think did he just pass away? I never know who died. It's one of my superpowers. I never know stuff. I'm generally confused. I don't think that's really a superpower. Anyway, NIO, they're whittling down. Make no mistake, even when NIO makes these big moves, it's still under the control of the evil algorithm. This is not how stocks, and they don't go all the way up at once and then start trading on this down bubble that is NIO's, lot in life. I said I think it was yesterday that I think NIO's breaking out right now and going to 720, and thesis intact. Still think that. So why do I like this breakout? I think it looks, it doesn't really look like this breakout. Volume's not quite as strong, but this came up too fast. If you look at this came off of, 369 and it touched 771. And we're talking about, beginning of September, end of August so that's in 1 month. So the stock moved from 367 to 770 in 1 month. This is the crazy type of wound up, craziness. And this is back a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. And I don't know if that's coincidentally, but this is how these guys move. I mean, they're smooth criminals. They're thieves in the night. Fox in the henhouse, turd in the punch bowl. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but you can't really glean too much from these charts that are this heavily price fixed, because I don't think reflect any honest market sentiment, fundamentals, even technicals, even what they really reflect is the third leg, old third leg Johnson, old Oleg third leg Alexandrov, one of our great commenters here on the channel. Anyway, the third, because everybody talks about either fundamentals or technicals as if they exist in a vacuum. And these days, that's what I was talking about yesterday. This isn't your grandpa's stock market where stocks move. You see stocks have great earnings, solid guidance, and they sell off, 15, 20%. Why? Because they were artificially inflated going into the earnings by market makers who plan to sell it off no matter what that ER said. They didn't read the end of the book. They don't give a fuck. They don't care about you. They don't care about your feelings. They don't go, oh, it should have gone up. Triple beat. What happened? It sold off. Yeah, well, KBW doesn't care. They don't care. They just do what they're told. They tell you to push a button, you push a button. That's how this works. This is like mafia stock market now. It's psychological warfare. Like NIO might go up, it might go down. I have no idea. What's going on with the super micro? Who the hell knows? But yeah, I just want to go back briefly to the SOFI chart, because it was basing here at, kind of $20.75. There was resistance kind of in the 2250 area. That flipped briefly here, beginning of August, and then was suppressed back down along this trend line. And what we were hoping when it saw this giant hammer candle, 24, and it closed all the way down here at 22. And then, of course, it was driven all the way back down here on this day. This is a weird day, just kind of a total Fugazi day. And then this is exactly what we want to happen. Find some, not bounce off this, but it found support again along the trend line, just like it did back here. This trend line looks really, really good for the last couple of months. So I expect it to move on up to the top of this channel. You notice it's tried to break through the top a few times. It did so here back on the 29th. Made that huge move. Was that earnings? I'm not sure. And then the whole thing. I don't think I can't remember, guys. My brain is totally screwed. But anyway, I think this is actually going to come back up here, and that's where we're going to see all-time highs when it tries to break out of this little channel. Because this stock, if any stock deserves to break out, it's SOFI. Little engine that could. SOFI is my Rushmore. I'll die on this battlefield. I'll die with my shares. Come for us. Short the stock again. Noto just laughs at you guys. I know he was kind of frustrated. My biological father, CEO Anthony Noto, I know he was a little bit. For you, I say, how does he have a fat son that's basically his same age or even a little bit older? I don't know. It's a bit, you turds. It's a bit. It's called willing suspension of disbelief. You freaks. This show's not really. I'm not really a fat guy. This is all a soundstage in Hollywood. I'm actually a svelte actor with six-pack abs. Whole thing is a fat suit. I'm Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al Crankovic. Ah, Payush is here. The great Payush. What's going on, Payush? How are you? Representing Memphis, Tennessee, of course. MSCI has to buy SOFI. Yeah, they're being added. It's just going to snowball, Payush. They're being added to all kinds of things. Of course, as you note, Citibank, I think, raised their target to what, 28, 29. JP Morgan just raised their target. I think Kay just called me a fatty. That's funny. Mizuho, the great Dan Dolev, touchdown Danny Dolev. Dan Dolev, and I just want to shout out a few people. Can I send some shout outs? Let's shout out Payush. Let's shout out the great Nara Lurker. Of course, let's shout out, my love, Princess J. Absolute best. I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for putting up with me and being a big fat asshole that I am. And oh my God, you're just, the fact that you can even put up with me is absolutely amazing. But anyway, moving on, want to send a shout out, of course, to the viewers, not just Payush, but anybody else who watches this piece of crap channel. Danny Dolev, touchdown Danny Dolev, just he was there in the trenches calling these guys out when they were just completely spreading bullshit. He would fire back, when they would get the ridiculous constant, 3 downgrades from the Chia Pet in a month's time. It was Jeffries. It was, what's his name from Jeffries, who was there re-rating, just, I think, dropping a little bit of a truth bomb. It was touchdown Danny Dolev with Mizuho, who was there re-rating the stock and saying, this is reality. We are serious analysts. We're not, paid shills and hacks over here with 5 heads, just spreading complete, nonsense, basically lies about, hey, the credit quality is not going to hold up, the defaults, blah, blah, blah. Scoreboard. As the great prof said from Minneapolis, Minnesota, I win, you lose, fuck you, what's up? Getting bigger, getting bigger. Do you want to reconsider? Lost control of a killer. Anyway, so these analysts, I don't know if they were fired. They should be fired, but this was a company where I think at a certain point, everybody knew the truth and everybody was playing a game of, charades or whatever you want to call it. But I think this chart looks extraordinarily bullish. Came back down, already challenged the levels it needs to go to. It's got to break through this 25 level, which I don't think there's really much resistance. I don't think there's much resistance at all for the stock. I think it can just run to all-time highs and frankly keep running. Because who's to say what multiple it should get? Because SoFi has been building a very superior business model in the fintech space with a depth and a breadth and a seriousness and a long-term mindset and a quality. It's just second to none. It's head and shoulders above any of these other clowns. Everybody else is a clown show compared to SoFi. SoFi is building long-term, durable, competitive advantage, organic brand recognition. They're partnering with all the major who's who in sports. I said it a long time ago. I said nobody even understands what this company is. SoFi is just a bank, like Tesla is just a car company. So, SoFi doesn't use AI. Oh, really? Oh, really, professor? Tell me everything you know. I got, 10 seconds. Got to go behind this dumpster and cut a fart. Oh, these SoFi bears. They're such disingenuous turds this whole time. Still coming down, trying to tell you this is a $5, $6 stock. Peeing on your leg, telling you it's raining. Hey, buddy, you're peeing on my leg here. Just got these slacks dry. No, it's a storm. No, I can see your penis. It's right there. You're peeing on me. No. SoFi defaults are up. They're through the roof. Wait, no, defaults are down. Way, way below what they planned for. Oh, I don't like Anthony Noto's haircut. Oh, that's a valid criticism. Good reason to lower your price target. Freaking. Oh, I mean, and I got rich off that. I was already doing well, but I got I made so much money from this SoFi. I mean, I was begging you guys to buy in the force. I was begging you. It's not that I'm a psychopath and I just wanted to make those idiotic videos every single day. It's that I saw what this company is going to be. I knew this was going to be a $50, $100 stock. I knew this is a blue chip stock. This was a blue chip stock. They tried to throw a bunch of risk on it and it just didn't stick. They threw every bit of, excrement at this company they could, and none of it stuck because Noto's too good, the team's too good, the business model's too good. But now they're talking about all sorts. They're talking about blockchain remittances, international remittances. This is a tech company. They built a tech. People who are still saying this deserves some type of bank valuation are idiots. They don't have branches. They don't have the legacy costs. They don't have to pay 10 tellers with eyeglasses with those little chains. They don't have to pay for those pens everybody steals because they don't even use those little, those little chains anymore because people just break the chain. Nobody put it back in that little cups. Now they just brand the pens. They know you're going to steal it. They want you to steal the pens. It's advertising. You guys are so dumb. You think you're getting away with something. Oh, I stole a pen. They want you to take those pens, dear. I think I might have made an illegal U-turn. Well, that's great, honey. Let's go down to the Home Depot. Get you a new tool. Compensate for your tiny willy. That sounds great, dear. Can we go to Chipotle? Yeah, your doctor said no more Chipotle, but what the hell? Can't really stand you anyway. Oh, sounds great, dear. Awesome, Chris. If this is Chris dash FN, dude, also thank all the people who leave good comments. Because my comment, this channel is pretty much dead. Nobody watches it because it sucks. But there's a few people that kind of drive it and keep things on life support anyway. So thank you guys. Who else should we thank? I don't know. There's thank you to everybody who pulls on the rope every day. Just the fact that I don't know, maybe you had rich parents or something. I didn't, but whatever. I don't care. God bless you. You came from nothing. You came from something. We all came from somewhere, and none of us had any damn control over it. But some of us decide to get up in the morning and pull on the rope and try to make a better lives for ourselves and our families and try to drive society forward, try to innovate, try to hire people, try to get people from A to B, treat others with respect. You gotta, to me, we're short people. Thanks to the nurses, thanks to the teachers. I had some great, I don't know how these break down these emotional things, but I just think society, we're taking our eye off the ball. We're getting off track. We have great people here. We have innovation and, work ethic. I think that's just second to none. And, people we're going to be outdone. China's going to leave us in the dust. I don't believe that for an instant. I don't think they can, steal all of our technology. They can, perhaps take back Taiwan. I don't think that serves their interest at all. This war, these wars, the hatred, it's just, I don't think any of this stuff, serves humanity, but it's this is where we are. So I think America's in a much better place than people give us credit. I think the real problem we're facing is nobody wants to deal with, the debt. Nobody wants to deal with economic realities of what we'd all like to have versus what, we can afford to have. So I don't know. That's just the end of rant. What else was I going to talk about? Sorry, guys. I got a little bit of sleep, but I'm still suffering from a massive sleep deficit, which is affecting my ability to think and especially my ability to focus and my ability to stay awake, quite frankly. Anyway, yeah, Billy Jack, SoFi, extremely strong. Yes. So thank you to Anthony Noto. Thank you to Piyush Bhatta. Thank you to SoFi Technologies. Everybody who, a lot of us were critical of the stock-based compensation, but clearly they built a very, very strong. I'm still critical of stock-based compensation. They built a very, very strong team, but I don't love dilution. Once you're making money, let the stock go up, let the options work. You don't need to keep, you don't need to keep teabagging everybody to make them stay. You can definitely, attract top talent as SoFi, and you can pay people, but should all be done by AI now anyway. We shouldn't even need to pay anybody. Shouldn't be any stock-based compensation. It's supposed to all be bots. That's what I was told. What's going on, guys? Good for you, Chris. Yeah, me too. I could probably retire. I can't. Live in Los Angeles. Like I said, unless you got about 100 million in the bank, you're a poor turd. Can't even fit in. I could possibly afford a Lambro, but I can't fit in one. So fat people problems. That's what happens when you're man boobing for fun and profit. Got to get an SUV or a sedan. You're not getting you a supercar. Come into a Ferrari dealer, you're just sporting man boobs. Guys, like, get the fuck out of here. But I'm a multi-millionaire. Get the fuck out, you fat bastard. I'm like, okay, all right. The Lincoln dealership is right across the street, sir. They're having chili dogs today. Perhaps you'd be more at home over there. Oh, thank you. Perhaps I would. Do they have the new Nautilus? I don't want to buy a car that's named after an exercise thing. Is that a Nautilus? What are you trying to say, motherfucker? Just say it. No, your car, sir. Oh, yes, that is my Nautilus. Thank you. It's very roomy. Yeah, it's great because you got that fat ass there. Ah, what? Huh? I won't be tipping. Oh, okay, here's $1. You didn't scratch it anyway. You ever have the valet criticize your weight issues? Like you shouldn't be at this restaurant? I have. Little bastard. They do it in Spanish. They don't realize I can understand the fuck they're saying. It's kind of funny. Like catch a valet making fun of you for being fat. Like, come on, man. I can understand. Like so many white people here at least understand Spanish. Everybody who hires people in construction at least understands when they're being made fun of. That's funny. Anyway, guys, the great Bobby Joe has joined us. What's going on, Bobby Joe? Jules Verne is here. Great Clap My Dog, of course. Payush, we already talked to Payush. Matt GTP. The great Paul Gardner has joined us. Yeah, I think, let's see, Paul. Hold on one sec, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Take a quick call. Anyway, let's see. Fancy cars are overrated. Get a Lexus or Toyota. Already have some of those. When you walk into a restaurant, especially Chinese, I see huge sense of junk gets too. That's true. I do love me some Chinese food. Thanks, Payush. When they come to Scotland, they will make a lot of money off your eating. Absolutely, they will. I like to vacation and just really eat the culture. Just drink it in. Just eat it. It's like, hey, didn't you just have lunch? Hey, shut up. Yeah, I just had lunch. Aren't you trying to run a business? I'm over here eating a second lunch. I'll probably have another dinner. Moving into supper, moving into dinner, moving into late supper, moving into last supper, which is just before the ultimate supper. That's how I snack, guys. I'm not man boobing for fun and profit by accident. I'm man boobing for fun and profit with a purpose. So anyway, we were going to talk about any of these other stupid stocks. Palantir, It's kind of, they're grinding away at it. I still think Palantir is overvalued, but like I said, I told you last video, it's going to retrace and it's going to run back up. There's just too much juice with this company. It's just too hot. But SOFI, I think, is gaining that same kind of heat. If you look at SMCI, like this one's just trying to break back over 40 bucks. Remember, we drew this channel that we're trying to get out of, basically. You know, I'll show you. So what we didn't want to do on this one was break back down into this channel that we're in right now, which kind of runs between almost 45 and I would just say like 40, 50, just roughly. You can kind of move those wherever you want, but essentially we needed to get back above this line, back above 45, because this has kind of been a big important pivot, not just here but multiple times. See how often this is resistance here, resistance all through here, becomes support here, drops down to resistance. So regain this line, the stock will probably start moving up again, just based on the reality of where you are in the product cycle with what's about to happen to revenue and EPS. In my opinion, it just has to go up. These projects are already there, they're already signed, they're already done and dusted. It's just a matter of when they're able to recognize those revenues. And I think SMCI's books are going to really, I think the numbers are going to be really staggering. You know, when they say at least 33 billion and what they did, like first, you can just do the math and see they really have to, you know, have their foot on the accelerator big time to meet those type of goals. So this chart it's very difficult with this gap. I mean, it's just hard to see, like, this isn't even a traditional like pump and dump. It's like a pump and just absolute massacre. Like they just fixed this price. I mean, you can see this line working here. It's still working beautifully as resistance, this particular line here in red, which, you know, you saw the beginnings of it here. I don't think market makers were ever honestly expecting this to pop really above this 55 level, but it did. Or they were trying to manage it as best they could, but buying pressure comes in. One of the things I want to point out with Prairie, which is just, it's just amazing, is how this stock can sell off on a bunch of green candles. I mean, the price fixing with this stock is just crazy. Like you can literally go through and just count, like, look at this price action. I mean, look at this. I don't see how you could get like more formulaic, like just this massive hammer candle, only 30,000 shares, then just buying at this level, another massive hammer candle, buying at this level, massive. I mean, the price, and then you see just buying all through. So the level of price fixing and algorithmic control of this stock is, I mean, I've rarely seen anything like it, but you could, you know, look to IOVA and it's much the same thing. Like, the level, the precision with which they fix these prices is just extraordinary. But yeah, this is you know, hitting some resistance again at this 2070 level, which has been a critical level. You notice that was support back here in April, and then it broke down obviously on this huge drop. This you know, earnings debacle. Wasn't really a big debacle, but it drops again, just the exact, like kind of the exact same drop, that earnings, this earnings. And then what did I tell you is going to happen? The stock's going to recover, and it recovered even, you know, higher than it was at earnings. Like the day before earnings, the low was, you know, $2.56 and it closed at 264. So today we're going to close above that level, and that drop was only, you know, a couple weeks ago. So it's amazing the scams they run to just shakeouts, shakedowns, just basically pull your jersey over your head and just beat the living shit out of you. Anyway, guys, I don't really know what I was talking about with this video. Wasn't really that much of a point to it. Let's see what NIO is doing. Still holding on to a nice 14-point gain, which is really good. So it's kind of trying to, was basically consolidating here at kind of this 630 level, and then it's trying to find some support. It's second test of that level. So have to see, it's kind of a critical level if it holds. There was obviously a market being made here, a lot of buying there, only buying through here. So NIO looks very, very strong. Like I said, I think the stock's going to 720. I don't think there's anybody who can stop it. It's still tremendously undervalued, misunderstood for what it's like. Similar deal with SoFi. Everybody wants to discount it and they just ignore what it actually is, which is, you know, an absolute monster, absolute behemoth. And it looks like volume's picking up here right at the end of the day. Yeah, we got 1 minute left. So looks like a really strong close coming in because, you know, the writing's on the wall, guys. The buying pressure's there. 227 million shares. Can't be wrong. Oh my gosh. Thank you, not a lurker. Thank you. So anyway, that's about all I had for today. Anybody have anything? Anybody want to talk about anything? The Zeitgeist Master 3000. Let's make it a good 7 minutes. I don't know who the hell else is here. Any evidence shorts are giving up on SoFi, NIO, or SMCI? Yes. They've definitely been giving up on NIO. Shorts. Yeah, they're giving up another 3 million shares today. They've been bailing out as fast as they could. So yeah, the short interest has gone way, way down. It ticked up like a tiny bit yesterday, but shares on loan, short interest has been going down rapidly as is cost to borrow. In terms of what was the other one you said? What other companies did you want? I can't even. SoFi, NIO, or SMCI. As far as NIO, did we just do NIO? I think we just did NIO. SoFi. Let's take a look at the SoFi short. Just for Matt GTP. So we're looking at SoFi. Looks like they're shorting another 1 million shares today on this one. They're borrowing a bunch of shares. So they're not giving up on it today, but overall, yeah, they've really, you know, completely given up, almost down to less than 10% of the free float. So this is the lowest this short's been in a long time. Kick this out to an 18-month time horizon. You could see back here, Matt, they were shorting over 20%, 18%, just went down all through here and then kind of spiked again up near 15% last July. And it's just gone absolutely, totally given up. So SMCI, let's take a look at that one. Let's see, guys. Take a look at the short today. They're giving up a little bit, 270,000 shares, returning cost to borrow is very, very low. It's been pretty flat. So they were shorting, 23% of the free float in May. So went down as low as 17, just kicked back up to 18. So they're not, they're kind of holding steady on that one. But shares on loan have gone down substantially and have not really recovered back up. So that's a good indication in my mind. It's not fail safe or anything, but they're probably not going to run another big short attack at SMCI, at least not from the low 40s. They got really burned on that one last time. Like I said, I don't think they expected this stock to, really move past 54 there. And I think it kind of caught them unawares. I think it caught them unawares a bit. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's a bit of a primer on the short interest there. Let's see, just a sniff of cuts, and yeah, it was a lukewarm too. Definitely, the ghost is here. Thanks, absolutely, Matt. We're happy to have you. Thanks for stopping by again. Always glad to see you on the channel. Let's see, under 10%. What do you not hit that? Definitely don't hit the thumbs up. It's a waste of time. What do you get? What do you get out of it? I want to be here anyway. Thumbs up are for suckers. Long time fellow Husky Gent. Big men got to stick together, guys. It's a struggle. You guys just let me know what you want to hear as far as Danny Oki. I got a wide repertoire. I'm a horrible singer, but it's funny. It's funny as watching a fat guy fall over. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. It's un poco mas. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your gains. It's not all about numbers on a screen. You got to go out there and actually enjoy the outdoors. Maybe have a great meal, take a trip, Whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Be safe. Be happy. Soon Poco Moss. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Not a Lurker. Thank you, Alberto Bertie Avelez. Thank you, Princess J. Thank you, QT. Thank you to everybody, guys. Oh my gosh. Coming in strong at the end. The great Princess J. The absolute best. Coming in hot. I love you. Not you guys. I'm talking to Princess J. I hate you guys. You guys are weak sauce turds. Princess J, you're awesome. That kiss was again for Princess J. Thanks, Chris. Hey, thanks, Not a Lurker. You guys have a great weekend, everybody. Really mean that sincerely. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Whatever you do, don't drink and drive. There's no freaking excuse. You guys are too smart for that. Have fun. Be smart. Get back safe on Monday so we can all relive this insanity yet again. Soon Poco Moss, guys. Thanks a lot. Peace.